Everyone can hear me. Good morning. I'm Allison Morano, and welcome to XR Women. So we are going to start with just a few announcements and some housekeeping. And let me just get this. Oop. All right. So first, before we begin, as always, just please remember we are recording and people can, let me just. So we are recording, and please remember that there are people recording and there is etiquette to be observed, and please mute if you are not speaking. And as always, please respect our speakers' opinions. They don't necessarily reflect those of XR Women or our leadership, and please raise your hand to ask questions. And also connect with others. That's what we really are here for. All of the women in the room are dynamic and ready to work together. And please use this as a networking opportunity. We have so many sponsors now. Thank you to everybody. As you know, we meet in several different apps and locations, both in the headset and out. Today we're engaged. We're in Engage, and we're really happy and thankful that they give us this space to use. And we've got lots and lots of other sponsors. Please remember to thank them if you see them or meet them, and thank you from us. Now, as always, we want to welcome our new XR members. As you can see, we have people from the US, Spain, and Canada as brand new members since our last meeting. If there's anybody here that's new that wants to introduce themselves, please do. We'd love to hear from you.
Hello, my name is Audrey Lane. This is my first time at XR Women, and I am super excited to be here with all of you and participate in the future. Thank you.
Welcome, Audrey.
Hi, I'm Thea. Sorry, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties this morning, but yeah, I'm Thea. This is not my first time at an XR Women event, but I didn't even realize there was a sign up on the website, so I just did that. But yeah, I'm a new XR developer. I'm excited to be here and connect with everybody.
Welcome.
Hi.
Okay,
Yes, welcome, Audrey and Thea.
There's someone else?
I heard one more.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to do a quick intro. Yeah, I'm Charity. I'm up there too. I'm kind of reconnecting or getting more involved within the XR space, and just super happy to be here. I know that you're all lovely people, and Paige is amazing, and you're a great community. So that's my son. He wanted to say hello to.
We're glad he's here too. Great to have you.
Now some really exciting news. I'm going to turn it over to Julie to talk about the fact we are now.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yes, this is a super exciting moment for us. We're going to celebrate this every week. We did this last week as well. But if you haven't heard the news, XR Women Global achieved our 501c3 nonprofit status in the United States. And let's just take a moment to say, woohoo! Yeah. This was a really proud moment for the co-founders, Karen Alexander and Sophia Moshasha, as well as the rest of the team. We're approaching our 5th year anniversary, everyone. 5 years we've been doing this every week, and it's certainly been a journey. And this is truly a succession point for women. Currently, right now, just in the current climate, we are able to achieve this status. So look out for some exciting programming coming up. And within this announcement, it's actually on our website. So if everybody goes, we would love everybody to go and share this news with your community. We have a lot of really great ideas coming up how our community can work within the realms of nonprofit globally and make bigger impact. And everybody knows here that we're in a borderless community. We've got, I think we've got a team, some of the team here from XR Girls Africa. And I'm sure we've got many other countries, US, Canada. Yes, we know we cover North America, but we're reaching the globe and we're sitting here and we're learning together. And it's so powerful. So congratulations to everybody here, because it's the community that's kept us going. We're at 200, what are we at? 234 events in a row, immersive all the time. Every week we've been immersive. And, you know, you can't say that we aren't a super brilliant bunch of us, and very courageous for doing what we're doing. We all have stories, and it's bringing them here and growing this industry as well as the community is the best thing that we can have right now. So thanks very much, everyone. Back to you, Allison.
And we are also, if anybody hasn't gone to the website, there has been a new workshop available to us for the last couple of weeks that is really special, and it is called Rise Above Workshop. I didn't know if Sophia or somebody, if anybody wanted to talk about it. It is available on the website. There's an early bird pricing until September 30th, which is just the next week or so, but it is purely your own pace. If anybody wants to say a word about it. Okay.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Christine. Now we have a very exciting announcement. I'm going to ask Karen or Julie again to please talk about this next slide.
Karen, you take this one.
All right, great. Well, so earlier this morning, we had an event with XR Girls Africa, which is a group that is part of the Africa VR campus and center. And this group is run by Diana and Jerry, who is here today, and who we're very proud that she is the winner of our 2025 Real World Impact Award for the work that she does with the girls, bringing them into the metaverse, creating opportunities for them, teaching them economic development by doing all sorts of different projects. And so we had the girls and Diana in here this morning, and Wayaki from the Africa VR Campus and Center, and we got to hear from the girls. And this was sort of the launch of the XR Girls Africa student chapter. And we can't wait to start working with them. They are super inspiring young women, and we are super excited about what we're going to be able to accomplish with them. So hope you all will stay tuned for this.
And I know there's at least somebody here today from there, so if you'd like to talk to them later, and welcome.
Yes, that's right. Diana has her above her avatar, it says XR Girls Africa, and she's the leader of the group. So you can approach her, and yes, she'll be happy to talk to you.
Okay, our next announcement. So in the museum, which is housed in Frame, it's the XR Women Museum, has just gone through a makeover. And Paige, if you want to say just a quick note about it, we were there yesterday with women in workrooms.
Woo! Thank you so much, Allison. And thank you so much to all those who have been visiting the XR Women Museum. This museum is open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's always available for you. And we are excited to include some upcoming workshops. And I will come back in the future with some details about some upcoming workshops at the museum. All right, thank you.
So now we're going to another. There's so much going on. I was talking about who's going to help with the slides. This is actually pretty cool. It's been going on a really long time. There's Immersive Game Night, which is every Thursday. I am on the Meta group So I get the updates all the time when somebody comes in on Thursday nights, which is 8:30 Eastern, and a lot of XR women get together and go to Walkabout mini golf to play together, which is a really great networking opportunity. It really does feel like you're networking on a golf course, which we know women are really good at and men are really good at, but we can do it as well. So please find out more about this. Again, Thursday nights. You can get more information on the Slack channel, the XR Women Slack channel, on the activities-games channel in Slack. So please mark your calendars for Thursdays. It happens every single week, and please feel free to join. And now we have another golf activity. Believe Sophia, somebody can talk about this?
Yeah, sure. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this is Ready Player Golf's 6th annual event that we've been hosting for 6 years now, and it is coming up on November 14th and 15th. And for people that don't know what it is already, I'd like to claim it was the world's first, but it is definitely a prominent event that basically raises funds for charity through a virtual reality golf tournament hosted in the metaverse. We are playing in walkabout, mini golf, potentially a partnership with Meow Wolf's course in walkabout, but we also have a networking component and an award show and Engage, and every year the team, the production team behind this just thinks of bigger and better and more innovative things to do within the space, and particularly in the award show, which is pretty incredible if you haven't attended one of these events. And we just had one of our own, Miss Vasilisa, who has registered recently for this event, and we just put out a post today on her joining us. But if you would like to play, we're thinking about putting together an XR Woman team for this event. If you go to readyplayergolf.org, that'll bring you to the Give Butter kind of leaderboard donation page, where you can kind of see some of the groups and teams that are starting to form, and get to know the event a little bit more. We are supporting it's a CCRF, Children's Cancer Research Fund. Children's Cancer Research Fund, who support children with pediatric cancer, and specifically James Arrigo's Big Dreams virtual tour, whom brings children with pediatric cancer into the metaverse, into VR, specifically into Engage, into all the camps and activities that he does in Engage to allow children to live their best lives through virtual means, even if they can't get out of bed or out of their hospital rooms or homes. So this is a very important initiative that is very relevant to our industry. So I hope that you all will join and support us in this inaugural event. Let me know if you have any questions later.
Thank you. So now this is a pretty exciting thing. Last week, if you were watching online, they're live streaming of all the events. Meta Connect happened last week at Meta's headquarters out in San Francisco. And thanks to the incredible work and support of this organization, I believe we had 5 XR women attending in various ways. I know that I went as part of the Creator Academy, where we had 2 days before the Connect event to learn about Meta Horizon's new push for mobile games, their desktop editor tools, all the advancements that are coming at us to be able to create in Horizon, which, by the way, will also carry over to all of Meta's platforms, including, and most, it's interesting if anybody wants to talk about it, the way social media fits into this and how the entire marketing platform is changing in the headset to be able to help us across all of the apps we use. They taught us a lot about how to be successful in here as creators. Paige was in there also as a creator, which was a different group which met before MetaConnect. And then we all got to go to the keynote event where they unveiled, as it says, 6 new game-changing technology breakthroughs. And I did some homework to make sure I knew what the 6 were after going. And 4 of them have to do with the Meta glasses. There's a new set of glasses coming. One is a new partnership with Oakley, which includes different styles, but also includes sports level glasses, which has to do with being able to film activities, slow motion, fast motion, things like that. The music's taken an uptick, so the sound's better. The bigger one is the new Ray-Ban that has a heads-up display, which means that you can now see in the glasses what you're looking at and use it using a Neuralink bracelet that uses your hand controls to be able to type or text or talk to somebody. You can see the photos that you're taking instead of having to take them and then look at your app afterwards, that kind of stuff. And it was pretty exciting to be able to use it. I will tell you one major tip I got from Paige while I was there, which I think was worth the whole ball game on those glasses, was they're integrating AI, which is another of the 6. So AI plays a much bigger role in how all this tech is going to come together. And Paige mentioned to me that when we create whatever we're creating and we're using these glasses, and I'm not affiliated, this is not a sales pitch, it's just cool. The AI in the glasses watching what we're creating will help us be better creators by using it as we're building. And I thought that was amazing. And thank you, Paige, because it stuck with me. The other thing is that the headset itself does something called hyperspace now. So not only will it map out the room that you're in and the boundaries, but it will bring real-time placement of everything in the room so that you can bring in other objects in, and it will really sit all out. I'm not doing a great job of explaining it, but you can look it up. It's their hyperspace. And the 6th thing that was highlighted in this was that now they have a TV app, which I've already seen pop up in my headset on the menu, which brings in all the different channels. And Mark Zuckerberg stood up and said, it's now going to be a real cinematic experience to watch all of the regular streaming shows and all the stuff that you watch on your television in your headset using their TV app, which has been upgraded. So those are the 6 major things. And we really, really are grateful to XR Women for helping more women. There were not a lot of women there in these groups. I wish there was a lot more. And XR Women had a big deal to do with the fact that we had so many of our group there in these groups that were learning for a couple of days before Connect started. So thank you very much to this group for this experience. I never would have been able to go if it wasn't for this group. So thank you. Okay, now to Julie for the motivation of the week.
Sure. Thanks, Allison. And that was a great overview of MetaConnect, and thanks for representing XR Women. I won't take too long on this slide because we started a little bit late today. Today's motivation of the week is courage. And this was also shared with our XR Girls Africa group this morning. Just aligned with the stories they were sharing. Courage isn't easy to do, but finding your voice even when life tries to silence it, the strength of you getting through that is your gift. So, this week, let courage carry you forward, speak your truth and share your stories and take that next brave step, because every time you do lift up, you open the door for another woman, another girl in the community to follow behind you. So I'm sending you courage this week with your motivation. Thanks, Allison.
Exactly. All right, so Wednesday, October 1st, we're going to be doing another networking event in Verbella Go. This is pretty cool. It's like speed networking where we can meet each other face to face, as our avatars in a location that lets us have these discussions with each other. We had one before, went really, really well. Verbella's on the web, so you can use your browser. I believe you can go on your headset. I'm not absolutely positive, but it worked really, really well.
It's desktop only, and it is a web web-based
Okay.
tool. It is Verbella Go, not the old Verbella app, but this is the web-based version. It's beautiful. So please join us.
Yeah, it's a really nice space, and the way that they set up the networking is really cool to use. And I met a lot of women that I don't always have time to meet with face to face that I know that I know. And now we're going to turn over to Annalise Schultz, and we are going to start our program. So welcome to XR Women's program right now, Karen. Thank you, everybody. I know it was a lot of information.
Yes, it was. Thanks for your patience, and thank you, Allison, for doing the announcements. We're actually going to move to another location where we will hear from Annalise, and I will introduce her there. So I'm going to transport us all over there now. So hang on to your hats. Give me just a moment. And here we go. We'll see you there.
Woo!
You can stand in the pond for the presentation. Which is kind of nice. It's very relaxing. It's like having a little bath while you're at XR Women.
This is fun.
That's funny.
Hang out with the koi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just check with Annalise here. Did you? Yeah. Okay. Let's make sure everybody gets
Hi.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
how am
right.
I
Let's.
position? Maybe I'll try over here. There we go.
Okay. And I'm going to introduce you, and everyone else is coming in. I think we're just about all here yet. So everyone, please welcome today Annalise Schultz, who has her Master of Arts in Art Therapy from George Washington University, and she also has a Bachelor of Arts in Neuroscience from the University of Southern California. Her experience lies in research regarding social and emotional neurodevelopment, and her graduate work on art therapy treatment for traumatic brain injury has been integral in the development of Reflect XR. She currently works at Persistent Technology, Inc. as a neuroscientist and creative arts therapies coordinator. And she brought this beautiful artwork that you see here, and you will have the opportunity to explore that later and talk to Annalise about that. So with that, please welcome Annalise Schultz.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much again to XR Women for having me. I'm so excited to be in this special space. To briefly reintroduce myself, my name is Annalise. I am here on behalf of Persistent Technology, Inc. to talk about immersive arts for wellness. Having a background in neuroscience and art therapy, I'm particularly passionate about how creativity can transform medicine and mental health, and I'm excited to share with you how we're using technology to expand access to creative forms of processing, self-expression, and healing. You can go ahead to the next slide, Julie. Awesome. On the screen are a few key takeaways I hope you'll leave with today. The first being the unique power of creative expression and emotional processing in psychological health. The next, how XR and emerging technologies can revolutionize mental health care by making it more accessible and impactful. And finally, how you can be a part of our journey as we grow and expand Reflect XR, our immersive arts for wellness platform. Next slide. To illustrate the heart of this talk and really of the Reflect project, I'd like to start by sharing one of my favorite quotes by renowned psychotherapist Thomas More, and it says, "Taking an interest in the soul is a way of loving it." Soul, by definition, is the non-material essence of a person or one's identity, made up of personality, emotions, and experiences. You can just go back, actually. I'll say next slide after each one, because some of the slides are a little longer than the other. One more back. That's perfect. Thanks so much. Yeah, so soul is the non-material essence of a person, so that's made up of personality, emotions, experiences. If we break down the etymology of the word psychology, psyche meaning soul, When we talk about mental health care, we're talking about caring for the soul. As Thomas More implicates, one way of doing so is by making time in our daily lives to explore who we are, how we feel, and where those feelings come from. Next slide. To get into it, let's look at some of the core challenges in today's mental health care landscape and how emerging technologies like VR might help address them. While therapy remains a powerful space for the soul work I've been alluding to, statistics reveal a 70% gap between people with mental illness and available clinicians, not including the many with periods of psychological struggle that go unreported. With this reality of not enough mental health clinicians to meet the rising needs of our generation, we have to seriously consider how we can take caring for our souls into our own hands and what creative and accessible technology-driven mental health care services or tools we can provide to individuals when they're unable to receive care, whether that be due to clinician overload, unequal access, stigma, or transportation barriers. Next slide. To quickly further draw attention to just how large the mental health care problem really is, globally, half of the population will experience mental illness, depression being a leading cause of disability worldwide, and affecting 1 in 3 women, which is pretty jarring. In the US alone, more than 27 million people are going untreated. Unmet needs resulting in increased mortality rates, with 6.1 million Americans receiving medical care too late because they lacked access to psychological resources and or transportation to psychological resource centers. So we know the problem is really big. Go ahead to the next slide. We also know the intimate relationship between the mind and the body. People with mental illness are nearly twice as likely to develop cardiovascular and metabolic conditions. Psychoneuroimmunology studies validate that thoughts and emotional patterns are strongly interrelated with immune response. What I'm trying to show here is that the problem spans beyond just mental health care into what is a global health issue that indicates a deep need for a return to caring for the self or the soul. Next slide. So I know that's really heavy statistics, but where does creativity fit in, or how will making creative forms of processing more accessible help? I want to start by pointing out that being creative is an innately human drive and behavior. Like the creation of fire, art of all forms has been around since prehistoric times, helping us communicate, tell stories, express beliefs, and preserve identity. In fact, many experts believe symbolic expression actually predates spoken language. I bring this up because when we're creating spaces and tools for self-exploration and reflection, it's important to include innate forms of expression that can hold all the complexity of being human. These forms help us access not only our conscious mind or the ego, part of our psyche that does a good job of blocking the truth sometimes, but that also allow access to the deeper subconscious layers of feeling, memory, belief, and identity that are stored implicitly or underneath our verbal awareness. What I'm trying to explain here is that the language of the soul spans beyond just words. Go ahead to the next slide. So again, let's look at the research. In the realm of arts and medicine, the positive association between creativity and mental health has been consistently demonstrated, and documented domains of impact across various populations include a decrease in depressive symptoms, an increase in positive emotions, reduction in stress responses, and even improvements in immune system functioning. This makes sense within the framework that being creative is an innately human drive and addresses basic human needs such as space for processing, sense of agency or autonomy over self and experiencing, the externalization of emotions, and being witnessed on a deep level, or in other words, being seen and heard. And I think that's a really big one. You can go ahead to the next slide. A particularly powerful finding by Grisha Kamal, the former president of the American Art Therapy Association, documents that it has been repeatedly found in their studies that even a single session of real and honest self-expression can improve self-confidence and reduce feelings of stress, anxiety, and burnout. A single session. Next slide. All right, now that I've laid some of the groundwork, let's bring technology back into the picture. I want to emphasize that the goal of utilizing immersive technology isn't to further disconnect us from one another or to replace the power of being in the presence of a trained therapist, those mirrors reflecting back to us our own experiencing. Instead, the hope is to use immersive technology to consciously create spaces where this soul work can be done, whether that be within our busy lives or during a hospital stay or throughout an intensive med school program. Providing people with creative, accessible, we use that word a lot today, tools that can help them regulate and see and learn from their own beautifully complex reflections, knowing that a deeper understanding of self is at the heart of therapeutic work. Go to the next slide. Thank you so much. So what are some of the benefits and potentials of utilizing immersive technology in care? And I'll use our product Reflect here as sort of a framework to explore these benefits. The first is that it is a novel and immersive environment that takes you away from where you are. Most people who enter XR leave in a different headspace just from the benefit from being removed from one's external stressors and making space and time to reflect. As we've seen in the results of VR-based training applications, VR immersion also promotes deeper engagement and as a result, deeper learning. The next one is accessibility. The big thing being providing mental health care resources and tools to those who can't or maybe can't receive them through the system. XR reduces transportation needs and has the potential to alleviate stigma by allowing individuals to do some of this work in private. We also have been able through the tech to design and develop accessibility features, for example, like our visual and auditory accommodations for an aging population, or a single hand use option in a sensory limited environment for our traumatic brain injury use case. And finally, it's a digital platform, which means we can continuously update content and track analytics in real time, allowing us to deliver really truly personalized care. It gives individuals options, or in other words, the freedoms to choose tools and experiences that support their creative exploration of emotion, self, and personal journey. These tools also help make art making more accessible, especially for those who may not see themselves as naturally creative. You can go on to the next slide. All right, Reflect XR. So with this foundation in mind, the science behind creative expression, therapeutic benefits of immersive environments, and the importance of accessibility, we set out to build Reflect XR, Immersive Arts for Wellness. Our goal was to translate these ideas into a scalable digital experience that makes mental health support through creativity available to anyone. So I will take you on a brief journey now of kind of how it all began and where we are at today. And go to the next slide. See. So as we've gone along, we've really conceptualized Reflect along a natural continuum, with one side of the spectrum housing our original immersive art therapy branch. And that is a very structured intervention focused on traumatic brain injury care, and it is mediated by an art therapist. I think it really served us to start with a very focused problem and expand to other use cases from there, which you'll see as I break down newer variations of the product later on in the presentation. But our original TBI use case was developed from my graduate research using mask making to study the impact of art therapy on self-awareness, or in other words, understanding post-injury identity, or who am I now after what I've been through. This thread of self-awareness was particularly applicable in TBI because anosognosia, which is a really big word for impaired self-awareness due to the neurological damage of injury, is really, really common in TBI, and it greatly reduces recovery outcomes and quality of life after injury. So on the screen, we have some examples of masks made in app. What's so powerful about mask making is that we naturally project ourselves or our identity onto a face template. And in VR, the possibilities are almost endless in terms of what one can create using mixed media, 3D objects, etc. People who do make masks at demos are always end up being quite attached to them. This immersive art therapy branch includes both a virtual reality application and an associated desktop app for therapists that everything's real-time streamed to. And we're currently engaged in a CRADA, which is a cooperative research and development agreement with the Veteran Affairs to study the usability of the platform in veterans with TBI and or PTSD. Go ahead to the next slide. Along the way, Reflect was included in an NHS-funded study by the University of Bristol in teenage young adult oncology or cancer care, where no creative arts therapists were able to be present. This really required us to expand and create an additional branch of Reflect that is not mediated by an art therapist, the result being our self-guided version of the platform, which we call our Immersive Arts for Wellness branch. We're very careful to distinguish between immersive art therapy and immersive arts for wellness that does not include a clinician. We believe that this branch has the potential to solve what we're finding is maybe the bigger problem in mental health, a lack of clinicians and the many barriers to care and resources. Next slide. This timeline on the screen does a good job of illustrating our journey from a focused clinician-led TBI use case to a broader self-guided wellness platform that has an array of experiences to improve mental health and well-being. So you can see on the screen that transition from immersive art therapy to immersive arts for wellness with the facilitated experience that we did for the Bristol study right in the middle of that. And go to the next slide. So getting into the non-mediated or immersive arts for wellness, some of the benefits of our immersive arts for wellness platform include reduced stress, anxiety, and burnout, nervous system regulation, the externalization of emotions, so getting them out of the body and mind onto a canvas, space for self-reflection, a sense of agency, and connection to self and others, knowing that a deeper understanding of self allows for more authentic connections with others. Go ahead to the next slide. The product has kind of 4 key elements or tenets and 4 key experience domains. I'll start with those elements. The first is psychoeducation about the power of creative expression for processing. The next is clinically informed guidance that leads art making and is tailored per population needs. Next, space for art making and space for reflection with your creation. And finally, curated content libraries that promote expression and well-being. Next slide. Reflect consists of 4 experience domains that you can see on the screen, in which to explore emotion, self, journey, and creativity. So all the way to your left, I think, it depends on which way you're facing. We have Creative Calm, focused on nervous system regulation, using evidence-based mandala coloring and instrumental music and nature sounds that you can listen while you're in there. The next is Explore Emotions, and the guidance here is focused on recognizing how I feel in this moment and externalizing those feelings through images, words, shapes, and colors so that we can then reflect upon them, increasing emotional awareness. The next is Explore Self. This is heavily derived from the mask making in our original TBI use case, but in our non-mediated immersive arts for wellness branch, we really see this more as a collection of masks made over time to track insights into self. So really reflecting on that evolution of self. And then finally, Explore Journey, which we pull from narrative therapy here. It is a creative visual timeline used to process a life event, a transition, or a diagnosis. And we actually built this after the Bristol study because we saw a lot of value for it in our teenage and adult oncology use case. Next is going to be a short video. I will talk a little bit over it. Hopefully it'll play.
I don't have access to this video here. Karen, did you have it playing before?
Yes, it did work previously. Annalise, maybe you can share it directly.
Yeah,
share that on your screen.
Let me try, and if not, we'll just carry on without it. Give me just 1 second. Okay. This will make my computer crash.
Yeah, I can't even go past that link, unfortunately. Like that even.
Okay. So you won't be able to show the rest of the slideshow then, huh?
It's not letting me. It's taking me to a sign-in page, and I can't even advance from there.
Okay. I'm trying to open right now. It's just taking a second to load.
Okay. In the meantime, maybe if anybody has any questions so far.
Yeah.
This is it's a beautiful conversation, and we've got many people here. Does anybody have any questions so far?
All right. I am going to try
Rachel
to share.
does. Yes. Rachel, did you want to ask something? To unmute.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, no, thank you so much. So how long have you been working with this program, particularly in virtual reality?
Over 3 years now. I think we're coming up on about 3.5.
I don't know, I think it's beautiful. I love using art for wellness. It's such an easy way to take people from having to use words and to be able to express, internally, externally. So I think this is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing it.
Thanks so much. Thanks for being here to listen. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and share a little bit about it with you guys. Are you guys seeing my slides on the screen right now?
Yes, we can see them.
Oh, phenomenal. If you see a video start to play, just give me a shout. So I know.
It looks, the screen is white, but that is the screen where the video should be. Is there a play button you need to push?
Yes, I think I hopefully just pushed it. It's taking a second.
Looks like it's working. Yes, great.
Okay. Is it frozen for you guys or is it playing?
Yes, it is frozen.
Yeah, we usually videos coming from Google Slides have not been very successful for us in the past, unfortunately. Can you skip to the next slide based on your share screen? Oh, okay, you can, because I couldn't do that. Okay.
Do you want me to go ahead and kind of just try to carry on?
Why don't you finish? Yeah, carry on in the presentation, and maybe at the end, if you can bring it back up, we can play around with it at the end. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. 1 second, just started to break right as I was going to carry on. Okay. 1 second, it's opening up other stuff now. I'm happy that I'm surrounded by people who work technology because they understand the demo.
We do understand.
Totally
get it. Something can go wrong, it will. And yes, we all know and understand.
Always does. Okay, it's starting to move. Just give me one minute. It tried to bring me to Google Drive to bring this video up, but it's not worth it. Okay.
And if I disappear, it's because my headset battery is getting very low. So just to let you all know.
Okay. Can you see that slide with the big wellness to the left now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, I will carry right on. The video is going to be a little bit of the in-app experience, but now maybe you'll be extra encouraged to try it for our heads and headsets and see it on the inside for yourself. But as you can see on this chart here, Reflect is being built to support a number of different populations through the main mechanisms of emotional regulation, emotional awareness, self-awareness, and meaning making, which correlate directly with our experience domains that I just introduced. Some of these populations include trauma, burnout, anxiety, depression, aging, and others, illustrating how these broader clinical goals have a value for an array of different populations that we then adapt and tailor the application and content for. Something that's really important to point out is that in the bottom, you can see that little star with the managed symptoms. We are a therapeutic tool, so we are not a treatment. We are here to help manage the symptoms of things like anxiety, depression, PTSD. So when you're working in the healthcare space, it's really important to make that differentiation. I will go to the next slide. Did it switch for you guys?
Yeah.
The libraries. Okay, awesome. Yep. Here you can see some of the population-specific libraries I've been referencing, in which we provide different clinically informed audio guidance, images, illustrations, and experience pathways for each one based on that population's needs. One example of application tailoring is our PTSD use case, and this is in partnership with UT San Antonio, where we were recently awarded a grant from TRC4, which is the Trauma Research and Combat Casualty Care Collaborative, to study the effectiveness of immersive creativity with trauma-impacted populations. For this study, we're adapting the platform to align with the post-traumatic growth framework, with each step reflecting an element of that model. So for example, Creative Calm is focused on containment, or Explore Journey is focused on new beginnings. An important point in all of this is that we have to very carefully walk the therapy line in this non-mediated space. So by adapting the platform to use the post-traumatic growth framework, we emphasize a positive strengths-based approach to trauma recovery, focusing on things like appreciation of life, personal growth, new possibilities, and resilience. This ensures that the platform supports positive expression and self-discovery while leaving deeper trauma work to licensed professionals. To also support user safety, we have a clinician on call during all our initial pilot studies, and we also provide in-app links to mental health resources as well. So in addition to our 4 horizontal experience domains, we're currently working on integrating vertical leveling. For this, each experience domain will have vertical clinical concepts that guide both the art making activities and the reflection prompts after creation. These clinical concepts are adapted per use case based on the therapeutic goals. So, for example, users may be asked to explore self-compassion in a burnout use case or resilience in a PTSD case. This vertical leveling of clinical concepts adds structure and therapeutic relevance to previously more abstract experiences and encourages ongoing engagement, and that each session introduces a new clinical focus or something new to learn about and then apply to your art making. Next slide, here we go. Listed here are some of the pilot studies and clinical research we are currently involved with, starting with our CRADA with the VA in Connecticut, which is focused on TBI and PTSD using our mediated product, so that involves an art therapist. We're also kicking off pilot studies to validate the benefits of the non-mediated Reflect product, including our study with Texas Women's University, which is centered on using Reflect for graduate student burnout, as well as our TRC4 funded study with UT San Antonio that I mentioned, which is focused on trauma and PTSD recovery. Our pilot study with McGill University studying the impact of Reflect on the broader aging population, which is going to involve more functional changes to the application to really make it accessible for that population. And finally, our completed study in teenage young adult oncology with Bristol that will be published in the next few weeks. So we're really excited about that. Some initial anecdotal results we've seen so far include individuals expressing an increased sense of calm after using the application, increased awareness of emotions and self. I can't speak enough about how art making is really a portal to subconscious experiencing. And then specifically in the Bristol study, participants expressed that the product would have value during many different parts of their care journey, and that it allowed them to show their loved ones and their care team how they were feeling without having to actually talk about it. The art acting, as it has since the beginning of time, as a means of expression and communication. In addition to the potential of immersive arts wellness, we also have plans to expand the platform into mobile. Reflect Mobile, powered by generative AI, will make daily creative self-exploration more accessible. And in the long term, we really envision mobile and VR working together as a part of a broader cloud-based platform, and hopefully even mobile really leading people to VR. So how can you get involved? We are very excited to announce the kickoff of our closed beta Heads and Headsense campaign, which actually kicked off about just a week ago. We will be sending out the application to anyone interested in trying it out, specifically those with headsets, to collect user feedback about the application, which will then inform design and development efforts. Our goal with this is to primarily test the usability of the application, and then also see how people use it to explore the self, emotions journey, and their own creativity. On the screen is the link to sign up to participate in Heads and Headsets. All that's really needed is your email, and what you will receive is a general version of the application to try out, as well as a short survey that we ask you to complete afterwards. So very bare bones, general version. It won't have any of the clinical leveling, but it will have some direction, a couple of reflection questions. All right, to bring it back to kind of how we started, at its core, the intersection of art and technology reflects something deeply human, our need to create, to understand ourselves, and to connect with others. I believe that when we use immersive tools with intention, we're not just building experiences, we're creating spaces for healing, for expression, and for rediscovery. I will close by just saying one more time, taking an interest in the soul is a way of loving it. Thank you again so much for having me, XR Women. Our link to sign up for the closed beta is listed here as well, along with my contact information. Feel free to reach out with questions or just to connect. And I'll open up the floor now to explore the in-app art exhibit, answer any questions. I am here as well as my coworker Anju. So we're keep popping around. Anything that you have to ask, we're here. Thank you.
So much. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Annalise. Unfortunately, we did lose Karen. Her headset did die off just there. So, but for the rest of us here, does anybody have any questions? Paige.
I heard somebody else. Maybe they want to go first.
That was probably me, and I apologize for that. I didn't put my hand up. But I was just going to ask real quickly, is this program also for people who have even more severe like challenges, like maybe people like are in the, like not the schizophrenic realm, but just sort of beyond?
That's a great question. I think we're currently really exploring in the pilots what use cases this is the most appropriate for. That aging, anxiety, depression, oncology. When we get into psychosis, so a disconnection from reality or anything that's hallucinatory, it gets a little trickier. I personally, from a clinical perspective, would be nervous to put someone who's actively in psychosis into a virtual reality headset and that their reality is already distorted. But I still think it's definitely important to, in very controlled settings, see and try that. Because what's nice about VR is we can really set up the environment and limit the, distractions or stressors or scary things that might be in a person's world in that moment.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That was a great question, and I'm really excited and inspired by your presentation. Thank you so much, Annalise. I'm sure I'm not alone in speaking from my own experience, how much, particularly for me, creating and connecting in VR has aided my well-being, as well as varying degrees and of micro and macro PSTDs. So thank you so much. I'm curious. My question is, when you're working with different clients or communities, are you creating art using a particular platform, or what kind of art making generation or world building are you like? Are you like a tilt brush or painting?
Yeah. That's a great question. I just want to say, first off, thank you so much for your vulnerability and courage and just sharing some of your experience. We open source. As you can probably tell, I'm definitely more on the clinical side than the technical side. So I know Nick's in the room if I say something wrong in terms of that. But we open source, open brush, or tilt brush. Yeah. And then we have created, but those kind of experience domains you saw, we've created kind of different canvases. So we typically offer all four if we have the time in a pilot, but we might be focused on more on like a mask for brain injuries, or maybe aging because they're transitioning with identity, versus, if it's maybe an oncology patient, it might be more of a canvas and we're just trying to get the externalization of emotions. So we can kind of pick from what we've been able to pull from Tilt Brush and adapt. Yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Open brush and multi-brush, all of those open source from original Tilt Brush are great tools for wellness. Thank you.
Oh yeah, the possibilities are truly endless in those applications, art making wise.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I think we have one more question. Elizabeth.
Yes, thank you for this excellent presentation. I'm especially interested in the aging population. My mother is in memory care and can't deal with the hand motions. You mentioned that you're doing some modifications for aging. I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah. This is probably the population that we have to make the most functional changes to the application for. Typically, we can sub out more of like, just audio guidance or the what the focus is of each session. But for aging, we really have to break down the application. We are in the midst of that process right now. We're doing a kind of a phased approach with McGill. So we'll have our first heads and headsets in December, and we'll definitely learn more from that. But we are thinking either no controllers or one button, maybe just a trigger button. Everything will be very step-by-step, big screens, and just very simple controls. So I will be very transparent that we are going to learn as we go what's possible. We're trying to get to know the population and speak to as many people as possible and really meet them where they're at. But I think that kind of draws attention to the importance of research and just trying things in really isolated, safe settings.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. We're just, Daniel, one more question. And then just so everybody knows, in case anybody's got a meeting, it's just 4 minutes after the hour. But go ahead, Daniel, ask your question, and we'll turn to wrap up.
Yeah, fantastic presentation and love the application. Was wondering if you looked at combining art therapy with music therapy, which is another big area in itself.
Yes, I love getting that question, and we get it so often, which I think just really pays tribute to how they go hand in hand, different forms of creative expression. We have incorporated instrumentals and music sounds into Creative Calm, our nervous system domain, and people really respond to it. So we have about 9 options of instrumental sound that you can play while you're doing your mandala. We have talked about definitely integrating it into the rest of the experiences, but I think we want to see how this first pass goes in pilot studies, and then we'll most likely get music in all of them.
Fantastic. Can't wait to try the beta.
Yeah, I'm so excited that people are interested. Thank you guys again so much for having me and giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much. Annalise and Andrew are both here. Please make sure you connect with them. Thank you so much for your presentation today. Such an important conversation around wellness and, what the work that you're doing. The artwork is gorgeous and intriguing and fascinating, and all the things. So I encourage everyone to walk around, take a quick look, maybe take some photos, share your experience today with with the community and support support Annalise and Andrew and Reflect XR, exploring more about this technology and how we can empower our wellness from within us, and no matter what age we are. And I love the music part. Music makes the world go round, as far as I'm concerned. So thank you so much. And everybody, thank you for attending XR Women. We'll see you next week. And we plan to be in Verbella Go next week for our event. And I hope everyone has a great week with lots of courage. So thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Christine, for recording today. Appreciate you. Have a great week, everyone.
XR Women.
Thank you.
Thanks, Annalise.
Yeah,
if you're available, if you're able to, if anybody wants to ask any more quick questions before Annalise or Andrew leave. I know the XR Women team will be signing off soon, so this world will disappear at some point. But just make sure you connect, and you can continue conversations offline too.
Yeah. More than happy to hop on a call or chat over email or messenger. So
excellent. And there's the XR Women Slack as well. And so if any of our new members are looking for that link, we'll try to share it out. Yeah. Annalise,
Amazing.
thank
you so
you.
much.
It would be exciting.
Mhm.
It would be really, I'd love to, like, as you're just in your beta now, I hope that in a year or so we hear again how your data is looking and some of the impacts. This is really, something that this research and your practice will benefit so many. So thank you.
Wow, awesome. Thank you. That means so much. And more than happy to keep everybody posted.
Yeah.